Attachment mistakes that are ruining your relationships. If you're constantly feeling like you're giving everything in relationships, but still end up feeling unseen, unappreciated, undervalued, or disconnected, this is for you. You might think to yourself, it's just because you haven't found the right person yet, or maybe because you need to communicate better. But the truth is, the way you learn to attach as a child is playing a huge role in how you show up in love. And there's one mistake in particular that keeps you stuck in cycles of overgiving, chasing, and feeling like you have to earn love. Today, I'm going to break it all down and, more importantly, show you how to finally shift it. Let's start with why attachment patterns run so deep. Childhood roots. Think back to when you were young. What did love feel like? Was it consistent? Did you feel like you had to be good to be loved? Did you have to take care of others before yourself? For many eldest daughters, love felt transactional. You learned that being needed equaled being loved. That's not your fault. It was survival. How this shows up in adulthood. Fast forward to now, and that same conditioning plays out in your relationships. You over-explain yourself, hoping they'll understand you. You avoid conflict at all costs, even when it hurts you. You feel anxious when someone pulls away, so you try to fix things and smooth things over. Does any of this sound familiar? Let me know in the chat or the comments if this is resonating. This brings us to the first attachment mistake, over-functioning. What is over-functioning? It's when you take on more emotional labor, responsibility, or effort than the other person. You become the fixer, the rescuer, the one who always makes things work. Why we do this? Because deep down, your nervous system believes that if you stop trying so hard, love will go away. It feels safer to be useful than to be vulnerable. The hidden cost. But here's the thing. Over-functioning keeps you stuck in unbalanced relationships. You'll attract under-functioners. People who don't meet you halfway, who rely on you to carry the emotional load, and who make you feel like you have to work so hard to be chosen. And that's exhausting. It erodes your self-worth, your boundaries, and your ability to trust in love. So how do we actually shift this? I want to walk you through some steps that my clients use in session to rewire this pattern. Step 1 is awareness. Catch yourself in the moment. The next time you catch yourself over-explaining, people-pleasing, and fixing, pause and ask yourself, am I doing this from fear or from choice? Step 2 is to rewrite the belief that love has to be earned. If you were conditioned to think that equaled being needed, let's change that. I want you to take a moment now to close your eyes and repeat after me aloud. I do not have to prove my worth to be loved. I do not have to prove my worth to be loved without overgiving. I am safe to receive love without overgiving. Step 3 is setting boundaries that feel safe for you. Here's some real life scripts you can use. Instead of over-explaining, you can say, I understand your perspective, but I still feel this way. Instead of fixing, I trust that you can figure this out and I'm here to support you. Step 4 is rewire your nervous system. This is where the subconscious work I do with my clients comes in. Your nervous system has been wired to associate over-functioning with safety, but we can shift that at the root cause. Let's do a mini guided exercise. I want you to imagine a version of you who doesn't have to work so hard for love. What does she feel like? How does she hold herself, present herself to the world? This is who you truly are, not the version of you that has to overgive to be enough. I want to share with you guys today a quick story from a client who struggled with this exact pattern. She was constantly feeling like she had to manage her partner's emotions, never feeling chosen. Through our work together, she realized she was replaying a childhood pattern where love meant caretaking. Once we shifted that at the subconscious level, her relationship changed instantly. Drop a yes in the chat if this is something you struggled with as well in your relationships. Let's talk about the biggest questions I get about this. How do I stop over-functioning without feeling guilty? Guilt is a sign that you are breaking a generational pattern. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you are healing. What if I set boundaries and people get mad? That's actually expected. When you stop over-functioning, people who benefited from it will react. But that's a sign that you're stepping into a healthier way of relating to others. How does my work help with this? Your subconscious beliefs control 95% of your behaviors. If you were conditioned to believe that love equaled being needed, no amount of logic, rationalization, self-help books will override that belief. But through working with me and your subconscious, we can rewire this at the root level. If this spoke to you, you don't have to navigate it all alone. This is exactly what I help my clients break free from, so they can experience relationships from a place of peace instead of having to prove themselves. Drop the word ready in the comments, and I'll send you details on how we can work together. And if this helped you today, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with another fellow eldest daughter, or someone else who may need to hear it. Your relationships should feel safe and secure. And the best news, you have the power to create that. Bye for now.